All right, guys, how's everybody doing? Oh my goodness, I'm here for a workout. All right, how's everybody doing? Great. All right, cool. Can we try? I just wanted to try this one thing before we get started. Is this slow kick clap thing, right? I mean, that was really cool. So I'm not going to make anybody stand up or do anything except just help me with a slow clap. Can you guys do that? All right. All right. So follow me, I guess. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right, all right. Woo! All right, cool. So I was meeting with someone upstairs, and he was saying that, what are you doing pacing here? And I was like, man, I feel like such a dumbass because I'm having a jacket on, and it's going to be sweating here, and it's going to be like really, really filthy. So, but it should be fine. So first of all, thank you for being here. I'm really excited what Drift has been doing, and like what David Cancel and David Gerhardt has been doing. It's freaking awesome that the first conference, so cool, so many people, so much excitement. And I'm also very nervous. Nervous not because I haven't spoken before in front of people, which is still nervous, but more importantly, they asked me to speak about the culture. And I'm not going to talk about ABM or account-based marketing or flipping funnels, the things that I talk about. Normally, it's about what kind of culture we have built at Terminus. So I would love for you guys to think about this as a case study. It's not how great we are, how awesome we got, we have figured it out, everything. None of that is true. We're just trying to build something really cool, and we think we have discovered a pattern. And we'll love to kind of share that with you all, but want to make sure that you guys don't think that I'm bragging here, talking about how awesome our company is and all that stuff. Can you guys cut me a break on that? Is that cool? All right, so keys to the Ferrari. Who wants keys to the Ferrari? All right, okay, good. I thought that's why you guys were here. I never said the Ferrari, I just said the keys. All right, so Sangram here again, just a quick background, co-founder, CMO at Terminus, the founder of Flip My Funnel. Anybody has been to a Flip My Funnel conference before? A few people? All right, very cool. Oh, yeah, some people like it. It's awesome. I'm also was running marketing at Pardot and I spent a couple of years at Salesforce, so that was a really amazing experience, and ended up writing a book on account-based marketing, so that was all fun and good. But then I wanted to do a startup. Right after my Pardot and Salesforce experience, let's go do a startup. How many of you guys are in startup or building a startup? Wow, give yourself a huge round of applause. I mean, that's amazing that doing startup is hard, right? And the odds are stacked against you. I still remember telling my wife this, saying that, hey, you know what? I want to do this startup thing, and I'm like 36 at that time, and we just had our second baby, like 1 month old, and she had quit her job, and we lived in a pretty big house. And she's like, are you kidding me? You're not going to have any salary, and you're going to go do this startup that you have no idea. And who are you going to do it? Oh, they're first-time founders too, so they have no idea either. So somehow she said, that's okay. You know, after 1 week of like back and forth negotiation, she shared that, all right, you're going to do this thing, go do it. I'm going to go find a real job so that we can keep the lights on. But here's the thing. You got 1 year to prove this thing has legs. If not, you're going to go find a real job. That's a real partner, and she lit fire under me, and since then, I've never looked back. So really amazing to kind of have her. But overall, the stacks, the odds are kind of stacked against you. And most of the time, you have like 99% of the companies don't make it. They don't make it to even a million mark, which is a big milestone. And definitely these three jokers wouldn't have done it. These are me and my co-founders, right? We've never worked together before. First time, I think my co-founder, CEO, Eric, he's 29, so he's like 10 years younger to me. And we've never done anything together. And here we are. We've kind of moved through the phases of last 2.5 years, going from a very small idea based in Atlanta. For those of you don't know, Terminus is the original name of the city of Atlanta. So it's pretty cool to have that domain. And overall, we just didn't know much, right? We're learning every day. We're stumbling on different things. We have a great team that helps us kind of get through the day. But we're still learning every single day. But here are the two things we discovered. We discovered that there's not a whole lot of things we can control. But there are a couple of things we can control. As first-time co-founders, there are a couple of things we can control because every day we felt like we cannot do anything. Something is on fire every day. You guys feel like that? right? Even if you're not a startup, something is on fire every single day. So we decided, like, hey, look, maybe there are a few things we can control. And what we can control is really the why and the what. Why being our mission statement, and what being what are our core values. These are two things that we all can control. Everybody here in the room can control that stuff in their organization. And if we can control that, or if we can at least focus on that, then you can control a whole bunch of things in your organization, what's happening. Regardless of what happens in the world, you still will have a plan and people who believe in you, right? So the why is very simple, and I'm not going to kind of go through it, but I will challenge you. If you meet a Terminus employee, we call ourselves Terminators, obviously, and we call our customers superheroes. So Terminators, if you stop anyone ever, or pick up the phone and call the sales team, right? They love calls. Somebody calls an inbound, right? That'd be awesome. But if you call them and say, hey, what's your mission statement? I guarantee you that they will get it right. Everybody knows the mission statement of the company. Now raise your hand if you can say that everybody in your company knows your mission statement. Few of us, right? Not everyone. And I think that's a very big miss. We decided that was such an important thing that every Tuesday, we call it the Terminus Tuesday, we have lunch catered, and everybody talks, and the first thing we say is, what is our mission statement? And everybody in the company repeats it, and make sure that everybody understands this. And the reason is that even if you are an intern at Terminus, and if you're in a meeting, and if you feel like, hey, what's going on here, or we're moving in a direction, they can raise their hand and say, is that in line with our mission, or are we going somewhere else? And that question we wanted to make sure that everybody is able to ask. So having a mission statement and talking about that is super, super important. So that was the mission statement. And the second was, we want to just be cool, right? We are in Atlanta, we just want to be cool, we're doing this startup. So we came up with this phrase called keys to the Ferrari. Now, quite frankly, I had no idea what I was saying when we said that, but it actually caught on. And I'll share some examples of like what it meant. But raise your hand if you had a choice to give away. Which car would you go? And I own a Honda Odyssey, so nothing against people owning Honda, right? But which car would you get? How many of you guys would give your employees Honda? Raise your hand. You got one person over there. Thank you for participation. And how many of you guys would give a Ferrari? Right? Now, why is that? Come on, share something. Like, why is that? Why would you give a Ferrari?
We're assuming you don't have to pay for the repair cost.
Pay for the repair cost. Very optimistic guy. Who else? Like, why would you give a Ferrari? Come on, over there. They're fun? Say again? Because you want, yeah. Extravagant. Unique. Say again? Less common. Yeah, unique. That's exactly right. It's different, right? It may not be you, right? Like if it's you, that's great. I mean, I don't own a Ferrari. I'm not like a huge fan of owning a fast car, like a Ferrari kind of car. That's not my thing. I own a Jeep Wrangler and I love it. Anybody loves Wranglers? All right, there you go. I love it. I'll absolutely love it. I will not trade it for anything in the world. So, but that's me, right? But there's something about the idea of owning something unique. It means that it's kind of the supercar, right? Like it's the best car out there. It means that it's the best version of the car. Somebody has taken the time to craft that thing together that looks really cool and it's amazing, and you feel like you should have one of those because you can't afford it, right? And more importantly, like it's great. You think that it's limitless. The speed is amazing. You also think about like if you are behind the wheel, like you're courageous. You can go fast, right? Imagine every single person in your company thinking like that every day. If they can think that they're unique, they're courageous, they can go fast, there are no limits, how would they conduct themselves and where would your company be? Right? I mean, so that was the idea. Like we wanted everybody to feel like they can do all the things they want to do in life. So we discovered that through the process, and I'm going to just give away like what the idea is and go through like 3 lessons that we learned through the process. But we learned that there's some magic in piecing together some things that we learned in just 3 years of us being in a startup. Again, we're first-time co-founders. We've never done this thing before, so we could be completely wrong, and that's on you. But we kind of felt like this is worth sharing. So we call it the magic triangle. And the whole idea is, if you have a mission that everybody understands in your company, and they can repeat it, they can think about it, they understand the real reason, real meaning behind it, if you hire people that believe in that mission, not just any mission or not just anything else, but like believe in that mission that you are there for, and then you create a culture where everybody comes together and they're all trying to do that thing that you're trying to move, you're going to have some magic happen. Does that make sense? Is that cool? Is that interesting? You like it? Nodding some heads? Right? That's what we're trying to create, and I feel like we all are on this mission to create that. So here are some lessons that we have learned. Number one, having clear mission. As we talked about, it's really important, but the idea is really the feeling of having a mission, the idea that I know that where we're going. A lot of people challenged with this idea, like, most times in meetings and conversations, the reason people are challenged is because they don't know where it's going. I'm in many meetings, and a lot of times, like Nick and Brianna are sitting over here, they know, like, if I don't know where we're going, it makes the meeting really, really bad. Because I'm, as a leader on the team, or at least someone who actually set the meeting up, if I don't know where we're going, it's going to be really hard for everybody else to kind of figure out how to get there. We don't have to be prescriptive of how to get there, but we have to have a reason why we're going. We believe in it so much that we put it on the wall. So everybody walks by the hallway, they see that keys to the Ferrari. Like, do you have keys to the Ferrari? We want people to ask each other when times are tough, we have the keys to the Ferrari. Let's do this thing. Let's make something happen. Right? So here's the greatest example of all. We talked about Flip My Phone a little bit, but the idea is that when you give keys to the Ferrari to your own employees, to our own Terminators, that are able to give keys to the Ferrari to the community back. And that's the greatest result, what you can see, and that's what we felt. So we have done conferences called Flip My Funnel in the last 18 months or so, and we have been in all over the world, and we have had 6,000 people. Today, even there are meetups happening all over the world. There's a meetup happening in Tel Aviv that we have never been or we never thought of, but there's a meetup happening talking about Flip My Funnel, which is just an idea. And the reason that happened, we believe, is because we gave keys to the Ferrari to our employees, who gave keys to the Ferrari to the customers or to the community. So the idea behind all of that is, if we treat our employees really, really good, they will treat the customers even amazing, or the community even better. So the whole idea is, we don't want to talk about the product, we don't want to talk about the company, which is ironic because I'm talking about all that stuff because of this conference, but it's not about that, it's about the problem we are solving. Here's the lesson number 2. We have heard, there was tons and tons of amazing sessions today where we talked about product and where it's going, and it's really important. We also talked about mission. We also heard a lot of people talk about the feelings it comes with it. But the part that we learned is that as a co-founder, I'm not in every single customer conversation. There's a customer service success team that does it. So they are the one who are responsible for customer success. So what people really, really want to make sure that your employees really know is that they are responsible for the way that customers feel, not me. I can say I feel, or I'm the greatest customer success person, but the reality is I'm spending maybe 5% or 10% of my time. It's really the customer success team. So you got to make sure that they feel that, right? So it's not the product. As a matter of fact, if you don't have to go any further, like Mark Benioff talked about, just hire people who want to change the world. It doesn't matter how they want to change the world. If that's what they believe in, they're going to do any and everything possible to make sure that their customers feel that they're changing the world. It's not click this button and go to this page and click on this icon. None of that. The conversation is going to be about empathy around, hey, this is going to make your process better, right? This is going to help you turn the report faster so that you can share with your managers so they know what's happening. Those conversations are really important. We've grown really, really fast, right? This is our first conference. This is August. Wow, man, it's 10 people, 250. I think the first conference was 250 people, so not as large as Drift. Drift definitely beat us to this. But at that time, we had probably 20 or 30 customers. That's it. But we made it look much bigger than that. And this is August 2015. This is August 2017. We're all 115 people based in Atlanta. We won the best place to work And I want to make sure I apologize. Don't want to brag about the company and just the people, but the idea is like all of these people feel that they have keys to the Ferrari. And if you think about this as a case study, there are only 3 things we're thinking about every single day that goes through my head every single day. Do we have the right mission? Are we hiring the right people? Do we have the right culture? If any of those things, and most of the times they're never like perfect, like something is always broken, so that's what I spend a lot of my time on. But the idea is like I want to always think about these 3 things. We had some of them take a photo by the Ferrari because they're like, man, you guys talk about Ferrari all the time. You've never seen a Ferrari. What's up with that? So like, all right, you can get in front of a Ferrari and let's take a picture with it. But guess what? We don't have an HR function. Anybody in HR over here? All right, so I won't say anything bad about HR. But we don't have an HR. And the whole idea was that, hey, look, why do we want to have an HR department? At some point we might need it. Is like we don't have a policy for vacation. We have to push people out the door to go on a vacation. We have to celebrate on a Tuesday saying, guys, who went on a vacation? And people don't raise their hand. We're like, please go, right? So we don't have a vacation policy, so people don't take vacations. So wait a minute, is this how it works? Like you don't let people go and they go, and we don't let them go? Like what happens here, right? So it's all in the mindset. People feel so connected that now we have to create process to figure out, all right, this person has not gone on a vacation for like more than a year or year and a half. We need to get him out, right? Like how do we get him out, right? So look, we're thinking about these things that we never thought as co-founders would be worried about. So it's very interesting. So in general, like all these things come together on just like one idea. It's around getting the right people as much as possible where we can, but making sure they're focused on the mission. All right, so last lesson. Culture is super, super important. And nobody said it better than Tony, which is culture is your brand. How we treat your employees, they're going to same exact way they're going to treat your customers. If you're not treating your employees right, and even if you're not even right, not awesome, not amazing, then they're probably not going to treat the customers awesome and amazing. That's the big part. It's not okay to treat your employees okay. It's not okay to be standard. It's not okay to be having a status quo around treating your employees. It's more important to make sure that they feel amazing and awesome. So this is a G2 Crowd review. How many of you guys are familiar with G2 Crowd? It's really, really cool, right? Like they have all kinds of different ratings and things like that. So you can see people are not talking about just the product. They're talking about the people. They feel that Terminus is an extension of their team. They feel like we're being part of that team and how we are helping them and committed to their success. So one thing I did recently is I just sent a one thing email every Sunday, and I asked people what they meant when we say keys to the Ferrari. And a lot of people had their own definitions of what keys to the Ferrari meant. And they started to define it to a point where somebody actually took the keys to the Ferrari and created a word cloud, right? And this is what people said. People said that, hey, it meant going fast, it meant going forward, it means taking initiative, it means being the best, it means being yourself. So this is what the people think at our company. And so we felt like, well, this is pretty cool, right? Like at the end of the day, that's what we want our employees to think about. So I want to finish with the 3 lessons. Again, the magic triangle is not complicated. It's very simple. And the whole idea behind that is how do we keep the mission, the people, and the culture together? And if you did that, I think the rest of the problems are still going to be there. Nothing is going away. But if you did that, I think you can at least have a peace of mind that you're doing everything that's possible in your control. The world can change tomorrow, like, shit can happen. But if you can control those 3 things or focus on those 3 things, then you're probably doing the best you possibly can as a founder or as a leader in your own organization. So I will leave you guys with this. When someone has keys to the Ferrari, they're going to feel amazing. It's a great experience. You're going to feel a privilege because they're not sitting in the side seat or you're not putting them in the back. You're actually saying, you're going to drive this wheel, right? You're going to drive this machine, this super machine. You're going to feel great. They're going to feel like it's a lifetime opportunity. That's what you want your employees to feel. At the end of the day, what they're going to really feel is anything is possible. And that's what we want our employees to feel, and thereby the customers to feel like anything is possible. And if that's true, So my question to all of you guys is, it's an open road. If your employees are the greatest asset you have, where will they go? And where will you help them go? Thank you so much. Cool.